Hello and welcome. This is the first, hopefully, of many videos I'm going to upload to YouTube, basically chronicling my journey towards my Western Governors University or WGU Information Technology degree. So, main reason I'm doing this video is during my research to decide what I was going to do and which course I was going to take and which university I was going to attend. I looked at a number of these different videos people had done, and there was some great information out there. But what I found was there wasn't that many on this particular degree, and also some of them were very long and not really giving me the information that I was looking for. So my plan is to hopefully make these quite short, specific, straight to the point, and just give you maybe the information that you're looking for about this particular degree. So today's video is simply just going to be an introduction, a little bit about me, why I chose the degree, and then moving forward, I'll try and break them down into segments. So next one, I think I'll do on enrollment, for example, the process with that. So let's move straight on. As you can probably tell, I'm no spring chicken. You know, I'm mid-40s now. I'm from the UK originally. I was born in London. I went to school in England, moved to the States about 20 years ago. So my schooling was very different from most traditional Americans. You know, when I talk to my peers at work about their experiences of school and obviously their education, they are different. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. I don't have an American education. So when people look at what I did in school in England and compare it to the US, it is different. And over the years, that has affected me because, you know, when I've applied for positions or I spoke to HR people, or they look at my education, they kind of think, well, what's this? You know, what does this mean? And even when I applied for this course, there were some questions about, you know, that. So basically, the bottom line is England, we do GCSEs instead of a high school diploma. GCSE stands for General Certificate of Secondary Education. And you get grades based on each subject. So English, math, science, that kind of stuff. And you get an A through F, basically. And so not necessarily a diploma. Well, I went to school in the 90s as well. People left a little earlier. I was 16 when I left high school, and I didn't drop out. That was the age that we left. Obviously, in America, it's 18. From my understanding, from my family in the UK, I think kids do go to school to 18 now, but certainly when I went, it was younger. I did do 2 years of college straight out after high school, but it was more of a trade school, so it didn't really, wasn't a diploma. It was so basically, people say, well, that's an associate's degree, 2 years of college. Well, it's not really a degree, and it doesn't really translate. And I've had this, like I said, ongoing issue with what it really means. So what I did was, and back then especially, you know, people could start at the bottom, entry-level positions. You didn't need a degree. You could apply for a job, and then they would train you on the position. So a bit like the traditional American story, you work in the mail room and basically work your way up to being chairman of the board or whatever. You know, I don't think that happens anymore, and maybe it never did. But in England anyway, I started as a trainee computer operator, working in a mainframe computer room, and basically after a number of years and experience, I eventually gradually moved up the ranks, made a little bit more money, and then eventually into different roles, etc. So altogether, I've got 25 years of IT experience. I've had a really wide-ranging career. Like I said, mainframe operators was the original starting point, but I've done support like level 1, level 2, level 3. I've been a server engineer for a lot of my career. I'm working in huge enterprises of server infrastructure. I've done technical consulting, which is kind of what I do right now. But anyway, database work, web development, a little bit of everything. You'll be amazed, even cybersecurity more recently. So lots of different positions, lots of different roles, quite a varied background. I was lucky because, like, when I started out, experience was key. So once you had experience, a degree was great, but it was always on applications, it was degree, bachelor's degree, or equivalent experience. So, you know, you could get your foot in the door at most companies with one or either. And these are big companies as well. The 2 or 3 that I've worked for in my entire career are big multinational companies. These aren't small companies. So, but what I noticed the last couple of years, especially the last 5 years, and even right now in the job market, is it seems like it's a minimum requirement to have a bachelor's degree, or it seems that way. And maybe it's just because the job market, with so many people unemployed, and with this crazy world we live in with this current virus, etc. I think HR people can be probably more picky because now there's so many people unemployed. They're looking for people with degrees and experience, and you know, that's really difficult, especially for graduates. These young people coming out of college right now. How do they get jobs? You know, it must be very, very challenging. I'm hearing stories about 100 applicants, 1,000 applicants for one role, entry-level role. And that's really not right, and it's sad. And anyway, so the whole bottom line is I feel like I need a degree to round off my resume, and that's why I'm doing this. Not only that, I have 3 teenage daughters. One of them's just about to start college. This is coming up shortly, and I felt like, it will be a good experience for both of us if we kind of go through this together, and also, of course, try and be a good role model for my daughters as well. So you're never too old to go back to college, and I've always wanted to do this. I feel like this is the right time in my life to do this now. So that's why I'm doing it. The other main reason why I'm doing this particular course is it's competency based, which is a huge part. It's all online, and what that really means is you don't have to look at all the material if you already know it. And with my wide range of experience, it's going to definitely be easier for me. So if there's a topic I think I know, I can take the pre-assessment. If I do well, I can then take the final and basically knock it out pretty quickly. And from what I've seen online, a lot of people have done that. Now, in some cases, I've seen stories of people completing these 4-year degrees in 6 months, which is absolutely amazing. And I tip my hat to them. But it's not really something I could do. I don't really have the time. Like I said, family, full-time job. I do have some other commitments as well. But for the most part, I'm looking to try and do this in 18 months. That's my goal. So still 4 years down to 18 months, that would be huge. And if this works out quite well, I'm hoping then maybe to go on and do my master's as well, because maybe I can knock that out in a year. So maybe I can get, best possible case, a master's and a bachelor's, in 3 years. I mean, that would be insane, wouldn't it? I mean, considering it would normally take you 6 years to get that. So anyway, let's see what happens. I know life happens sometimes for people, and you might not be able to do that. One term might be very different from the next. So anyway, this is my introduction video. Like I said, stay tuned for more. I'm going to keep knocking these out pretty quickly. I'm trying to break them down into segments, so it makes it easier for you to find what you're looking for. Next video is going to be the enrollment process, and we'll go from there. Anyway, thank you. I hope you enjoy this ride. It's going to be a fun one. For me, it's July 29th, 2020 right now. My start date is August the 1st, 2020. So basically, I'm 3 days away from starting. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Right, have a good one. I'll speak to you soon.